The Keep It Simple strategy is a simple method that can be used to painlessly and quickly develop a strategy for your business for the next year. In my days as an operations manager or division leader of consulting firms, I always struggled with how to develop a strategic plan for the next year. I followed the tried and true methods that involved a long series of steps from looking at our current situation, the industry trends, our competition, and so on, and then devise a number of initiatives for the next year. Print the plan and distribute it to the staff. Before long, everyone forgot about the plan and things went on as usual. Nothing much changed. I'm sure many small businesses suffer the same problem. Finally, I came up with the KISS method of strategy, the Keep It Simple strategy. The KISS method starts with strategic thinking cycle, as shown on the diagram. The first step is called mission. It's the why. Why are we doing what we're doing? For example, Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. The mission for my firm, Successful Consultant Training, is through education, help people use their talent to create successful businesses. Step number 2 is called strategize. Note that I decided to use that term rather than the more common plan. Once again, my experience tells me that plans don't work very well. When we say strategize, we mean do some deep thinking about where you are now, where you want to be in a year or so. What is working that you want to perpetuate or expand? What isn't working that needs closure? And what new things are needed to satisfy your client base? The strategy is the what. What are you going to do? What initiatives will you select for the next planning period? Next is step 3, called act, or in other words, implement. Now you must implement the initiatives that were selected in the previous step. This is the how. How will you implement the initiatives? And step 4 is called monitor. This is the if step. In other words, if it is working. You have laid out quarterly goals, for example. At the end of the first quarter, you evaluate where you are. You may need to make some adjustments in your strategy, but be sure those changes are consistent with your mission. Maybe the strategy needs an adjustment. Maybe the initiatives require modification. Then repeat the cycle. It's a continuous process. Strategy is a continuous process. When we think about strategy, 4 issues always come up that must be addressed. First, we must allocate the resources that we have. Is the current allocation working? Are you and your staff focusing on the tasks that create the highest value? Should some activities be outsourced to save money or allow others to do what they do best? Do you need more equipment, such as computers or smartphones? Those are resources as well. Second, develop and evaluate options or scenarios. Good strategy boils down to good decisions, and good decisions are founded on a complete list of possible options or alternative solutions. Then eliminate the least attractive options. Third, establish priorities. We cannot make progress by being distracted by too many responsibilities or a lack of focus. Setting priorities is a critical task for management. What you focus on gets manifested. And fourth, always question or challenge the assumptions that are built into your strategy. Are the assumptions reasonable? Do they make sense? In particular, check your assumptions about the market and the industry you work in. And remember that assumptions can be stated or unstated. Now let's be a bit more specific about what we look at in each of these 4 areas that we mentioned in the previous slide. First, allocate resources. This involves financial, equipment, and staff resources. With regard to staff resources, training is a key task. With regard to financial resources, be sure to fund new initiatives that will bring increased revenues. Second, when options are considered, look at both optimizing or improving your business and innovating new services or offerings. Third, question assumptions made with regard to marketing. Have we selected the best target markets and why? Your offerings. Have we customized our offerings to the precise needs of our clients? And financial. How good are our sales and revenue projections? And fourth, establish priorities. As Stephen Covey would say, focus on what's important to the firm's survival and success, not on what is urgent. Also, What is your highest priority and why? So we can boil down the KISS method into 3 rules. The first rule is a business will move in the direction of its priorities. Therefore, establishing priorities is a key to business success. For example, is there a difference between focusing first on clients or focusing first on operations or services issues? Remember this quote from Robert Collier: "What we continuously think about eventually will be manifested in our lives." Setting priorities makes a big difference in outcomes. KISS rule number 2. Develop several potential initiatives that support rule number 1 before considering the financial or cost implications and limitations. Then select the best initiatives that fit the financials or budget. The key is to do your blue sky strategizing before you decide on how much you can afford. Otherwise, you tend to limit your creative thinking. If there are budget limitations, reduce the number of initiatives. And KISS rule number 3. Implement the strategic thinking cycle with at least quarterly reviews and strategic refinements as appropriate. Dr. W. Edwards Deming, my mentor, first proposed what is now called the Deming cycle, comprised of plan, do, check, act. This is the same thinking process. Strategic thinking must continue throughout the planning period, at least quarterly, if not more often. Progress must be monitored using progress metrics. If progress lags, find out why and make the changes needed. In summary, create a simple strategy and focus on this strategy continuously during your planning period. Thanks for watching. You can get more information about our free training and our online consultant training courses. Just go to www.makemoneyinconsulting.com and enter your first name and email address. This is Dan Predpol, President of Successful Consultant Training. Bye for now.